Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. We're playing Chaos County and we've started fixing a little bit of traffic over here. On this intersection specifically, or this interchange, we've done the first section and in between I've detailed it a little bit, so have a look at some of the line markings and things that I've used over here. The intersection marking tool is absolutely amazing. Some of these curves and things like that aren't perfect. I still need to kind of fix maybe some of that, and maybe at some point I'll spend a bit of time detailing the entire intersection at the end. But functionality wise, this is working. One of the things that I do want to do straight away now is actually set up the signal timings. So we'll run through that quickly, and then we'll move on to the rest of what we're seeing over there in the yonder. Some problems still over there that we need to go and deal with. But that's going to be the focus of this episode. As you can see, we've also seen a little bit of infill happening over here, so we can continue to maybe release a little bit of capacity as we go. However, I would like to, just let's give it a little bit of a go here. So maybe a little bit of higher, I'm wondering, we wouldn't do high density commercial over here. I'd rather do low density commercial on these specific stretches. And then we will go in here and add some more additional kind of high density stuff right over there. So maybe something like that. Ooh, and unfortunately, we won't do it right up to the edge there. So we'll add a little bit of high density stuff in there to kind of go around and into this direction. I can also, I'm also quite comfortable to start maybe putting in some high density stuff right over here. It's a little awkward though. I thought we would have had a little bit of a better zoning over here, maybe a full block instead of a 3 block. But maybe it's not the end of the world to have a 3 block in there. It's going to have a little bit of variation that we can see. So let's maybe, but there's no water and power and stuff over here. So let's pop another one in there and see about some of those things slowly starting to creep in. Okay, now the first thing I want to do is I want to show you how I will do the signal over here. So I'll pause the game again. We'll go to timed traffic lights using the Traffic Manager President Edition. So we'll click this one. That's the only node we're going to do. We're not going to do subsequent nodes as part of this. So we will set up a timed traffic signal over here. So because we are doing shared lanes, right? So in this instance, both lanes can turn left and only the right-handmost lane can also go through. So that instance, we would like to provide this guy with a green phase where none of the others have a green phase. That one is fine. So there's nothing else that can actually run with this. Okay, so that's basically the setup for this one. This one is shared. That one is not shared, but that one. So basically, this is going to be a very straightforward one. We're going to say give anything between, let's say, 2 and 7 seconds. We'll add it there. So basically, the intelligence of Traffic Manager President Edition will actually say, well, a minimum of 2 seconds, game seconds, or simulation seconds of green time, and then it will start to check whether there is additional traffic in there, and then it will basically stop it up to a maximum, or keep it going, keep the green going if there's still traffic coming, up to a maximum of 7 game seconds. That's basically what that means. So now we'll add the next step. Now this one goes red. That one goes green. I think that's just going to be the safest way. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Minimum green time of 2 game or simulation seconds, maximum time of 7 seconds, depending on how much traffic there is at the time. And then we'll add another step. This one goes red, then this one goes green, and we'll do exactly the same thing over there. So this, and then we will add our last step where we close that one, open this one, and there we go. I don't think we need any pedestrian stuff over here just yet, but maybe eventually we will. So there we go. And it's as simple as that. So now we're running it. So we can quickly have a look here. This goes into green. Okay, so now these guys will have green. These guys will stop. Coming from the right-hand side here, they will stop. Okay, this guy has got, I don't know, not too sure when it actually decides to stop it. Still seeing some flow there, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not too sure how to actually read some of those things, but okay, now it's gone red. Now this one is going green. And it'll start measuring its requirements soon, saying that there's nothing left there for it to wait for, so it's going to go red. Then that one goes green, it will go red almost immediately. Yeah, that one, eventually that will be busy too. Eventually that will be busy too. And then this one goes green and moves along. Let's we can actually speed things up a little bit so we can see quick. There we go. And now this one goes again. I think comfortably going to move all of the traffic using timed traffic lights, clearing each intersection. Ooh, what's happening over here? That one shouldn't have gone. There's some funny business going on over here. Is this... I want to just have a look, give this a few seconds, see what's going on with this guy. If a vehicle in the left-hand lane arrives, does it stop? Well, that's the emergency vehicle and it's not going to the left-hand lane. Let's see this one. So they don't stop in the left-hand lane. Or was it just the timing? Was the timing just out there? It's a little awkward, isn't it? Yeah, we'll see. No, it does. No, it does not. There's something funny with that. Anyway, I'm not going to try and fix that now. We will come back to that a little bit later. But ultimately, it is now kind of working. Okay, some of the things that I wanted to do over here is I want to actually provide a little free flow section right over here. And I think the way I'm going to do it in this instance is, yeah, so these can run quite comfortably the way they're running over here. And then this guy gets a chance. But these are right-hand turners. So these guys turning right over here, I want to get them free-flowing outside of the intersection. So as soon as we move everybody through, let's quickly stop the game. I'm quickly going to get rid of a few sections like that. Now, what I want to do with that is I want to see about maybe splitting things a little bit. So the idea, what we could do, yeah, I'm not sure that's going to really help. Let's try this. Section here. So we'll do a little bit of this. Ooh. If we do something like that, and we'll turn it around. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's turn that one around. And then from here, I'll quickly do a little short section. Let's try something like this. Through there. Okay, we'll just gonna do that. See if that works for us. And then I'm going to go and upgrade this section back to what it was over here. Just like that. So that we're basically splitting these two off. Yeah, I think I like that. Ultimately, we can still make some turns and things of that nature. Now, the question is, do we... I think it's okay. I think this is going to be completely acceptable. That is going to be a turn. Around there, we could ultimately do a very similar thing and do the other side like that. We could do that, then this doesn't have to be a 3-lane through there. Okay, let's try and do a section like that through here. If we do that, it's pretty tight and close over here. This one will have to end up stopping for the others. I want to move that back maybe just a little bit, like so. Yeah, so it's a little bit more kind of equidistant over there between the two sides. Now let's quickly figure out what our lanes are going to look like over here. I'm tempted to do... Actually, this just needs it to be a 2x2, like that. So if we go upgrade that section 2x2 over here, then this one can actually go something like this instead. Up to which point then it actually does become necessary. Maybe not. Maybe let's do this instead. Let's turn it like that. You should not be doing allowing that movement. And then over here, what we'll do is we'll go back to a 3 by 3 like so. There we go. Fix that one up quite nicely. This will just be straight through there. We'll see how we deal with those. Okay, so now the intention is that this is free flow out there. These guys go straight into an intersection over here, which I'm not too sure we are seeing. There is a signalized intersection over there. We'll need to close off some of our other intersections. So let's quickly grab the node controller. That's an intersection. This one is not an intersection. This one we'll need to close that off. That's not an intersection. This one over here is not an intersection either. We're definitely not going to allow any of this movements. I'm happy for us to make it a little bit, open it up a little. I like that. That's pretty good. I want to do something similar over here. Let's quickly say no junction markings. We'll take out all of the. Oh, can I undo it? I can't. I'll have to. I hate it when that kind of thing happens. Okay, let's just put these back. It's really tedious. Okay, go back in here. Yeah, I think that's. Actually, this is the wrong thing. We should do the. It's not what I wanted. I want this one in here. The other way around, like so. There we go. Now let's quickly fix that again. Oh, that's the one. I want to close that off. Close that off. We'll smooth it a little bit. Yeah. That's exactly right. Make sure we get no markings there. Similarly on this side, let's cancel that. We'll cancel that. We'll cancel that. If we need pedestrian stuff here, I'm quite happy that we'll bring it in a little bit later. So there we go, and that's quite natural there. I like kind of like what we're doing with all of this. So now I can go do a few markings and well, let's start with Traffic Manager President Edition. Let's quickly set up all the maneuvers that we want. So you go in there, you go in here, you go up that way, from this direction we also go in there. So we don't want any turn-ins, left turns and things across here. Similarly over here we would only want this movement to go in there. And well, what we can do is we can just fix up all of the other movements. So just continue our lanes through as much as possible. Similarly here, we don't want any lane changing necessarily in this location. There will be a fairly heavy left turn movement to go onto the intersection there, and we will dedicate it. Quite happy for us to dedicate it this way. These two we can just kind of run through over there. Then over here, these three we all run straight through, no left turning in this location. And we'll use the line markings later to kind of fix that situation even more. Straight through there. And connect this right turn into our slip lane, our newly created slip lane. We still need to do a few more things over here. This one goes straight through, that one goes straight through. We're not going to allow the right turn lane over here because they've been able to turn right over there. So this is only going to be this left turn that goes into that specific direction. There we go. And I think that is the setup. We don't need to do anything other than that. Okay, so we will, there's one more thing. Actually, we missed one little thing. It's not this one, it's this tool. We'll go back in here. That one does not need to turn into this direction. We'll only have it turn over here, basically. And considering this, they might actually run at the same time, but it's not a thing. It's not necessarily a way of doing it. Okay, so that's the setup. Let's quickly do. I'm going to do the line markings just briefly on camera. We're just going to do some basic line marking over here. So that's a double solid. I believe that's a Control and Shift to get a double solid. Look at that. How nice is that? This one needs to go around there, solid line. But we can also go straight through there. Well, actually, we didn't need the solid line there. So let's remove that solid line. I'll show you what we'll do with that. So we'll do straight section through there. Solid section through there, solid section through there, and solid. Ooh, actually, that's the wrong solid section. When I do these things on camera, I keep messing it up. Solid section to there, so that you have to put it on the outside of the lane. So if you're in this lane and you're driving there, this is your left-hand side. So where would your left-hand side be over there? That's how you do it. And I know that, but it's just sometimes you kind of mess it up a little. And then your right-hand side, similar thing. You do your right-hand side this way. Now what you can do is you can go into this line. You select that line. The solid kind of line there, and then now we just need to stop it before it crosses that section. What we'll do is we'll also add a rule. We'll start a new section here and end it there. And I've used a template for like the yield line. That will ultimately be a yield. The next line over here, we can end it over there. And so now that is nice and comfortable. What I can also do over here is add a filler. So I hold Alt and I click all the outside spots here. Okay, and for this, I would like to use a chevron. Okay, we need to turn it a little bit. We need to invert it. The chevron kind of indicates is in the direction of travel, right? So from the inside, outside. So in the direction of travel, this is how the chevron works. Let's offset it a little bit from the median so that it doesn't go out on the grass there. But there we go, nice and comfortable. Now let's quickly do the similar thing on the other side. This will be a solid line. That will be a solid line. And this will be a solid line. And I think there isn't any need for anything else apart from we'll add some chevrons in there. So let's quickly get our chevrons in place. There we go. Make that a chevron. So as you can see, this is a little weird. It's a chevron. Let's turn it. That's the right direction. Direction of travel from the center to the outside in the direction of travel. Basically what we're doing. Let's offset it a little bit so it doesn't go onto the grass. And there we go. Nice. What we'll do is I will go and do some line markings over here as well. Shift and Control over there. We'll do the solid section through there. We'll do the solid section on this side also. And this will just do a dashed line as a taper into there. There we go. Dashed line. So that means the right turn lane is starting. So now that is a pretty cool setup right over here. Let's quickly do the setups on the other side. So from here, these tend to be a little bit more complex, but basically what we do is we start it on the side of the lane that you want to turn. This needs to be a solid line. Now this is on the side of the lane that goes straight through, so we'll make this a solid line too. Potentially, because this is like a parking lane, it's a little awkward, but I like to go straight into the edge there, so I don't put lines out on the curbs there, but we can potentially run a line through there. It's just going to look a little weird in my opinion. Shift is going to be a solid line, so that's a little awkward there. It's not supposed to look like that, but in general it looks fine. We'll do this. Oh, that line I like to use. I've made a little template just to make those a little bigger. You can actually save templates in here. Another thing that makes this game absolutely, this mod absolutely awesome. We'll run those lines. We'll make another dashed line through here. And I would like us to make sure that template uses the RA center line there. Again over here and the RA center line. Perfect, just like so. No problems whatsoever. Let's quickly do a bit of a chevron over here. Alt and click, click, click and click. And then we'll make this a chevron. And we'll turn it a little bit. That's the perfect one. And we'll move it out. There we go. Something like that. Now you've got a chevron for these guys to turn out this way. Some line markings over here could be useful, but I'm not going to do it right now. I don't necessarily think it's a requirement. Okay, so this is where it comes a little bit interesting. Let's start on this side, the easy one. We'll get some straight lines through here. Ooh, we also need to do a fill over there. I'll do a fill. This is just going to be a dashed line straight through here. It's a little close together, so I'll use my RA center line. It looks a little bit better. Straight through there. We'll change it to the RA center line again. I'm quickly going to do the filler here on this side. I like to just use the solid, so it doesn't. It looks like the island is just continued straight through there. Solid over there. Nice. I like to do it that kind of thing. Okay, now straight section through there. We'll get the RA center. Now this is where it becomes a little bit more interesting. So from here to there, I use the solid outside line. So we'll do something like that. What we can also do is this on the outside of this. So on your left hand side, as you're turning here, you will be going into this lane. So we'll put a solid line in through there. And again, you'll be turning on right side of the lane to right side of the lane, solid line through there. Okay, now we need to make a little bit of tweak over here. So if we go, this line needs to please stop at that point over there. This line that we've selected needs to stop at that point right over there. And then this line needs to stop over here. We need to add a rule from there to there. Okay, and that I've got the yield line in there. And then we'll add another rule from there to there, we make it solid again. Oops, I could have done that with shift. And then let's quickly do a bit of a filler. Alt and click and click and click. Put the chevron in. Come on, chevron. And turn it. Oh, it's this one, and then you invert it because now it's going in the wrong direction. We invert it, it goes in the right direction, and we quickly trim it back a little bit. So there we go. Perfect. The only other thing remaining for us to do is to make sure that we, in fact, get a yield sign going on over here. So this guy actually waits for any traffic that's over there. Similarly, we've got this section that needs a yield right over there. That's going to be fine. Now, the question is, do we set up a timed signal? I don't think so. I think the standard signal that's going to operate here is going to be just fine. So now, hopefully, we'll see. Why is this guy? Maybe we do need to mess around with the stuff a little bit over here. So let's quickly give our... the one thing that we need to do, when you do this kind of thing, you need to always make sure that these things are ticked. It allows them to enter this node. We see here they're keeping the node open, and they shouldn't do that. So we'll allow them to continue to flow straight into the node there. I believe everything should now be fixed and sorted out. Why is it still doing that? Honestly, you should just be going straight through. Do we have an intersection here, right? Yeah, I don't know why it's doing the stopping thing. It's a little weird, the stopping thing. Do we have everything here? This intersection, we don't want it to block this intersection though. Anyway, we forgot to do it here, so we'll definitely keep these going. But yeah, this one is awkward. So maybe if we do that, will it continue to flow? Potentially. Well, let's switch all of them on and see how it works. But ultimately, we need to see if this intersection does in fact work for the vehicles wanting to turn left. Okay, now the next thing we want to do, I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to clean this area up a little bit. So what you would find in the real world when intersections and things like that gets upgraded, you don't typically upgrade the entire stretch. You just upgrade the localized area here. So let's quickly go in here. We'll smooth it out a little bit. We'll take out those markings. Oh, actually, I've just resetted it. Don't need to do that. That's going to be fine. We'll do that. Clear that out. Let's pause the game. Quickly want to... There's a lot of lanes on this side. So let's quickly see how we're gonna deal with our line markings over here. So let's grab some line markings. I would like us to run a solid line out there. A solid line up here. A solid line up there, that's good, and then a solid line out to the edge over there. I think that's going to be just fine. Then what we'll do is we'll need to run this like as a, yeah, so we'll run our dashed line over there, and these we just kind of leave open. You don't need to dash those in properly necessarily. This one will dash out there to indicate this is a merge. So it's as simple as that. So we've cleaned up that little intersection. There's no point in trying to do this. They just generally leave that open if you've got multiple lanes that just starts at the same spot. So something like that is probably about right. There's a little bit of an awkward height difference over here. So let's, I'm going to try and drop it down a little bit, bring it up a little bit over here, just so that we don't have it as awkward as it is at the moment. Something like that. It looks much better now. Let's bring that one up a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's a smoother, a little smooth, much smoother. We probably need a few more lines in here, but that's just fine. Okay, so that's how we're going to solve this side. I believe for the left turn and all these kind of things, it's fine. I might have to do the signals over here. This signal is just not, now it's working. Okay, but anyway, what we need to do is we need to fix off what is the next thing here. The problem is not that there's one lane here. The problem is that there's only one vehicle at a time going through this intersection. So what we need to do is we need to upgrade this intersection. And I've already got a signal in here, and obviously our line markings and things are a little awkward and so on. So what I'm going to do here is let's get these guys out of the way. We'll pause it for a second. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this section. We're going to use the highway stuff, the same stuff that we've already started using. We're going to do something like this, and we're going to do, that's a little, let's do that, and we'll turn them around over there. I don't necessarily want the turn left to be allowed over here, so we'll see how that works. That section, let's give it a little bit more. Okay, so now we've given ourselves a little bit more room. You can see that I've put some decals on the ground here, which I will just get rid of. They were indicating our stop lines, but we'll need new stop lines over here. What I can also do is provide a little bit of a break build out over on this side where we've got a little bit more traffic. So we should have one of these at 2 and 3, this one. So let's upgrade to a little section like that. We'll do another one. So there are 2 little sections through there. Now we should have tons more room to for maneuvers and stuff like that. We could also make this, we could also ultimately make this a free movement if we provide an additional lane in this little section here. So there is a little something here that we could do. We could try and do that as an upgrade and have this as a free movement around there. I want to try that and see how that works, and then we'll just merge them in. Okay, so this is the setup that we're going to do over here. We should still have a signal, I believe. That should be fine. And now let's quickly go into our node tool. Yeah, we do have a signal. Let's just widen it out a little bit. I think that makes a lot of sense. We don't want any junction markings over here, so that's gonna be fine. Look at that. I like that. So now let's put some stuff, some other line markings in there. Ultimately, before we do the line markings, let's quickly tell everybody where they want to go. So this is going to be a dedicated right turn, and we're going to give that lane completely to that movement. This guy can have a dedicated left turn. This, on the other hand, can go straight through or right. Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. This movement is going to be able to go everywhere. So you can go there, or into that lane specifically. This lane can do the left turn or go straight through. And then this one, I believe, I want this one to actually go straight through and that one to turn left into there. Or not? Do I turn left directly into here? Whether there's a necessity for that movement, I have no idea. I don't necessarily think there's any necessity for that. So I'm going to try and get that one to go through, that one to turn right, and then we don't have a left turn over here. I think that is going to be the right call. But on this side, okay. Anyway, so that's we'll at least you can always go back and change it out later if you need to. Just get my stuff here. Okay, now let's quickly finish it off over here. So we'll do a solid line around there. I'm going to do a solid line around this one as well, because this is going to be a free movement into this line. And I'll show you how we detail that in just a second. Now what we'll need to do is this line, we'll need to run a solid line over there. We'll need to give it some splits and things like that. This line, okay, hang on. Before we do that, let's quickly get the outside edges done. Outside edge done over there, outside edge done over here. Okay, now we need to, this one over here needs to go like that, I believe. And then that's not necessarily going to be a solid line through there. Okay, so give that a go as a starting point. The other thing that I need to do is I need to arrange for that line to go in through there. That needs to be a solid. Okay, but what we need to do is we need to bear in mind that we want this to start at that location. There we go. So now we've got this area sorted out. The other line that we had was this one. Let's just make sure that we have it stop in this specific location over here, and we're missing a solid line around the corner over here. Now, I think that works. I don't necessarily believe this should still be a line through here, but we'll leave it there for now. Let's quickly do the filler, because I think that's the filler piece here is going to be important to dedicate this movement. And I don't think, well, chevron, it has to be this one, but I don't think the chevron in this location is going to work. So this one will just be like stripes, and we'll try and angle them in as best we can for the direction of travel. Something like that, I think is going to be fine. The problem with this, these guys are going to turn over here. So let's quickly see what's going on now. Obviously, everybody needs to figure out where they're going. Yeah, so this is actually cutting straight through there. So I need to do a little bit more work right here. Just need to everybody to sort themselves out now and get the signal to work and all these kind of things. Okay, that's a good starting point. I'll fix this thing a little bit because there's a little something here that's a little awkward. Okay, still very busy. Now let's stop that. I'm just going to go back into here. Take this one out. Let's get rid of our filler. I'm going to redo the filler to make room for this maneuver. So if we go and say lines, I want to say this guy to there. Make it a solid line so I know we're still working on it. It needs to start in this location over here. And it needs to end in that location over there. Now, if we go back to the other lines, this one needs to start over here instead. Wow, it's going to be an awkward little island there, I think. And what's the final line? This line needs to finish over here. So now we'll try this filler one more time. It's going to be a little awkward, but I think it's going to be fine. And now what I'll do is I'll make it solid instead. It's going to look better if it's solid, this one. So if we run that through here, through there, and through there, ooh, come on, and I'll just make that solid. Now it'll be like a little solid divider island over there. So now everybody should be able to make their turns without it being too awkward. Okay, we just need to fix what's going on with our intersections over here. And I'm worried that we've lost the intersection on the main line. So let's just quickly try and switch it off and switch it back on again. Okay, now let's quickly do a time traffic light over here because that's an absolute mess. Set up a time traffic light now. So what we're going to do is this. Let's just do the same thing we did on the other side. So let's add a step. This one goes green. We'll add it. We'll add a step. This one goes red. That one goes green. We'll add it. We'll add a step. This one goes red. That one goes green. There's obviously other options that we can take here, but I think this is going to be just fine for now. And we'll add it and let's say start. Now, everybody here. Okay, let's give it a minute to just feature, but I'm worried that, okay, no, that's working. This guy is also stopping. Nice, that's working. Oh my goodness, hang on. I need to allow this guy to continuously go. Okay, hang on. I'm going to go back. What about that? So let's go back into this time traffic light. Let's stop it. Let's edit them. So each one, I'm going to add, let's make that change. So that's going to be the one there. Save it. Go to the next one, edit. Now this one can still remain green. We'll save it. We'll edit the next one. This one can still be green and we'll save it. We'll edit that last one. This one can still be green and we'll save it. So now there's a continuous flow of traffic that's going to go off into that specific area. So now everything should be fine. This guy shouldn't. Did I start it? I didn't start it. Hang on. Go back in here and start it, please. Okay, now let's get out of there. I think now, once everything's just stabilized, it should work. So this guy can continuously run through there on all of them. I don't know, we'll see. At some point, this should just figure itself out a little bit. There we go. What? There's still weird stuff happening here. I think it's to do with the node controller. Maybe if we make it a little smaller on the node controller, we could potentially smooth things out a little bit. I think that might help things a little bit. I think they get a little confused with the node controller in place. Now, still some awkwardness going on there, and these guys are still making funny, weird stuff, and they should really not be. They shouldn't go to both of those. Anyway, let's quickly do a few more line markings in these areas over here. So double solid over there, solid through here, solid through on the outside edge, and we'll just do the dashed line in there. There we go. Short lane started for the right turn. I'm quite happy with that one guiding line through there. I think it works quite well. Now, if we go over here, we need to do a few bits and pieces with the line markings. Let's get the node controller in place, and we'll just smooth it out a tad. We'll get the markings to go away. That's going to be fine. We will come in over here. We'll smooth it out a little bit. Actually, this is not supposed to be a bend. It's supposed to be a custom with none of those. Excellent. That's going to be fine. Now, let's go back and quickly do the markings, and then that'll be the end of this episode. Okay, so straight through here, we would like, come on, double solid. Through there, this is just going to be a dashed line to indicate the end of the lane. Let's go with the other line, the RA center line. This looks a little bit better. Similarly, we'll do that side also with the RA center. Nice. Now let's fix this section off through here. Double solid, I think goes in there. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. And then what we can do here, because this is the right turn, we'll just do the dashed line over there, and we'll get the RA center dashed line. There we go. So now everything kind of works. What I would like to do is just make sure that our lane selection kind of works. So from here you can go there or there, right? But from here I don't want you to maneuver from the one to the other. I want you to stick to your lane, right? This side should be fine. They'll all just kind of merge together over there. So I think once all of this is figured out, I think this whole thing will operate with a lot more ease. There we go. I don't know why I'm having issues with the intersections. Is it because we can't see the signal? Is that the issue? If I drop the node thing completely over here, right? If I drop it down completely, do we see the intersection? Maybe just a little bit. Oh, you see now it can actually work. There we go. Let's get out of here. I think it works now, kind of. Wow, there's a little bit of traffic coming out of the farm area over there. I don't know why they don't stop. We'll have to figure this out a little bit more. I might have to change the type of road here. Change it from the highway type of road to what we've got over here. But presumably it should have improved the situation, but it has not done that. We need to have a ton more green time here. So let's quickly fix that. I want to give this thing a lot more green time. Let's stop it. Go into edit this one. This one needs to have a minimum of 5 seconds and probably a maximum of 15, and we'll save it and we'll start it yet again. I think that's the one that we obviously have the most issues with. So let's just try and clear all of this stuff. And the one other thing that I wanted to do is I just wanted to make sure that in this area we actually allow them to only go through there, and these guys go straight. And over here, what we'll do is we'll allow any one of them go anywhere. So the idea is that we keep clear a bigger section so that can continuously run. It might not be sufficient that we've done here. I quickly want to just do our line markings over here. Double solid. Let's do our double solid over there, solid over here, solid over here. No, I don't want that. And a dashed line over there. Maybe just fine. And the other thing that we need to do is just remember that here we can actually allow you to continue to flow in there. Probably not allowing people to cross in this specific location. Do we have, hang on, something like this maybe? Actually, you should be able to turn there. Yeah, that should be fine. That should actually work quite well. Okay, well, let's... I want to see if this thing is going to clear. Not quite. We need way more stuff here. I don't know why. Hang on. Let's quickly. We're probably running out of time, big time now. I just want to check the this whole timer. Just have a look at what is actually going on with this timer. It's immediately stopping. Okay, so anyway, that's the issue. So let's edit it. It's not actually picking up that it's got a lot of time to kill there. So let's at least save it at 10 seconds and start it again. I wanted to keep an eye on it. I think the time traffic stuff isn't really working in this location. Not too sure why. In terms of the time it allocates. Are we clearing this? Not yet. Not yet. We're not clearing it yet. But I think with a little bit of tweaking here, it should be fine. I want to go in here and just make sure that that and that is okay. Over here, that is okay. This is okay. Yeah, so ultimately, I'm not sure this is going to work. But what we'll do, we might have to do it. Might have to improve this even further, which is fine. So I think for this instance, I'm just going to go with 15-15. And then the next one, I'm thinking this goes 7-7. And then the next one is up on that side. I think this one goes 10-10. And then on this side, we'll go, ooh, actually, this was the wrong one. This was, I think, let's do 7 and 7 on this one. Sorry about that, guys. Then we go into the next one. That one needs to be 10 and 10. It's pretty intensive. And then this one, I think, this one can be, let's try 7 and 7 again on this one. Let's start that up and see if that works. This, I mean, for me, I'm not sure if you find this tedious, but for me, this I like this quite a lot. Figuring out what exactly it is that we need in terms of our traffic over here. Look, we've cleared out this one. Now we just need to see if we've got sufficient maneuver room on the others to clear out all of these queues that we've been having on that side. Probably 7 on this side is not quite good enough, but maybe after a few rounds of it, we'll figure it out. Wow, there's a lot of buses on here. My goodness, the buses is crazy. And unfortunately, these guys never stop, so it just keeps going. And that kind of gives this a problem. So this is not sufficient. We still have way too much traffic stuck on the other side. But we are starting to see, well, not even an improvement over here. Okay, guys, it's been a good attempt. This is all working pretty comfortably. No big problems. I need to take out the parking there. I don't like the parking right in there. This is working really nicely. We've got no traffic whatsoever. This stretch up to here is kind of okay, and then we still have a little bit of a challenge going on over here. I know everybody's probably shouting roundabout, roundabout, roundabout. Actually, that is moving along pretty nicely. But there's an element of this that feels real to me. This is the kind of stuff that you would see in reality, right? A little intersection like this that was on a fairly not busy road and ends up becoming really, really busy ultimately. I mean, even that movement, how much traffic is still in there? Yeah, there's a fair bit of traffic still waiting to get out onto this road here. Yeah, we may have to upgrade this intersection with a little bit more gusto and maybe we'll do that in the next episode. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. If you want to see more detail in terms of how I do the traffic stuff, do please let me know in the comments. I obviously enjoy it quite a lot, but you may feel differently about it. So do let me know, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.